Okay, I'm thinking.
This thing right here might give a little bit more height.
So it's not so much making the PowerPoint smaller, it's more, is there a way to adjust the projector so it comes down a little bit?
I'm gonna see if I can
There
find
is no
something
way.
to backstage. I'll be right back.
Ask the kid for a chart. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you back. Okay. I liked it when it was large, that was awesome, and just filling the whole screen was really good.
Oh yeah, and then screw the mic holder off it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check in with them. So what I'm trying to get here is that Comidre is off.
Off?
See?
Oh, he just needs to readjust it. Okay. Okay, I got it.
Hey Jan, raise the screen. Can you raise the screen a tiny bit? Because it's just hitting the black border.
Exactly. Is that not been on there? Here, try
Yes.
this.
Okay.
This will clamp onto anything.
All right.
And when we put this on there, the clamp might give it
Yeah.
a bite
All right.
onto this itself.
Yeah.
And it won't look too crazy. Okay.
Yeah, that worked. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh, maybe the clamp goes right there and we just leave it on. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
No,
I'm gonna look
okay.
at a pre
Like
office,
that
so
way.
it gets a
And
little
then on
extra
the facing, turn it turn it 90 degrees.
not a bit, like, I'm a
It'll
better
get a
singer
better
than
clamp
you
on
are.
it from this. Yeah. There you go. Now,
Unless you think like.
let's move it up a little bit
If it sounds
like that.
Okay.
So it's clearing this.
Great.
And then this could be positioned however we
Okay.
need.
Let me drive.
You want me to get away?
I think that looks better.
I will say this. I'll give myself this advice. This is good. Because raise the screen. It's out of order. And go with the camera.
So, if you want to get, right now it's only your head, so you're getting white. You guys want to move backwards a little bit, you could probably get better.
Oh, yeah.
Here's our light. Here. Yeah.
That's where you like it.
Dan, what's next? Awesome, okay. And then soon, we'll, yeah, we're not cooked up yet, right, Oren? The clicker? Maybe I'm pointing it wrong way? Maybe I put the batteries in backwards after I tested them? Well, possible. Plus.
You know, it's okay with the laser light.
Well, I tested them.
Yeah.
They were fine. I have fresh batteries.
Okay.
I'll give you some fresh batteries.
This, the laser pointer is a tunnel.
What's that?
See, this is super long.
Okay. Testing my batteries is so fun. Tape. Oh, I know it has no blue tape. Took it out for the, put it in the archive.
I'm thinking it might be a battery issue. I think we have.
I think it's okay to take out that side. So when we go outside, what you'll, oh, that's actually pretty cool. You could use, no, it's super good. You'll want to switch to this microphone. I was gonna say, that would be really cool. You could use that one until you get to the door, and then you could switch.
I'm gonna look at,
That's
oh,
good.
go to video.
Probably
Second
better.
house, is that what it's? Maybe there's a filter.
That's what, on backgrounds and filters. Filters.
So let me put that next to me. So that I can just,
No.
but, and then we're going out this way, the same way we came in,
We are.
right? Okay, cool. And I'm just saying, if you can, like on Lala's,
No, I mean, okay,
like with the words. Okay,
No.
great,
over and over and over again
great.
for a long time. And then I guess you could change it to something else.
No, I think I'll sit with it.
You know, and you can go to your die. So
Yeah.
this is gonna be
Just so
my
you-
microphone that's gonna get-
Oh, I see. Okay. So maybe I will sing for a little while until we get your microphone on there.
Sure.
So I'll sing into this for a little while.
Yeah, looks like the batteries.
What's that?
The batteries fixed it.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Where do I point it? There?
Yeah, it should work anywhere. This is radio frequencies. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
why
definitely used to be much lower. So now it's good.
it's kind of a pain that they have it that high.
But
Anyway,
it's always been like this.
yeah, they put in a new projector, so.
They put in a new projector, so that's what changed. They put in a new projector. Okay.
We always ask, what has changed from last?
Right, what has changed? That's what changed. They have a new projector. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We might be able to-
What would you like to say? What would you like to do a warm up with?
Why don't we just start with the meaning arcana without words, and we'll just like sing a little bit of everything.
Oh, I see.
But Dan, you're okay, because I can just look at them.
Good.
We can just do one.
Just go back. Is that okay? Can we just go back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back and forth.
I'm just,
Ooh,
you like that one? What's the lighting?
You want to try? There's no power. We could try it in the center of the room. Well, no, let's see.
Okay.
It's my pleasure tonight to introduce Rabbi Jessica Lenza, the Urban Adventure Rabbi who runs our base in New York City. Teaches many of our online classes, and we are so delighted to have you here this evening leading us. Me, everybody. Me, everybody. Name of God.
Should we try it from the center? Of the we don't need power. We just do this, so we don't- walk through the center back.
Just your voices.
It's a camera. Shit.
Now you can't see the words at all. This is worse. It's better up close. I wonder if there's a sweet spot where Brian could turn down the house light just a little.
How's it sound, folks? Good?
It's not gonna get any better than that.
It's such a better quality
What time is it?
screen than we have last year.
No.
And my dad,
You
my
can bring the
dad.
5K camera.
Rest in peace, Dad.
Okay.
I can't move past it. I just.
You, me, that's us, that's you. But they're fam.
You covered so well though.
No one would have noticed. Oh, you know all the nice music very well. The attention slides? Sure.
I'll do some.
We're not gonna wear them, I think, yeah.
Just put it back.
There's a few slides there.
I'll just move around it.
Yeah, just take it off. Remember, spirituality is not something that happens to us. Rather, it is something for us. Someone else can kindle the fire. All right, what do you think about putting the spot on the ark? Would that be too distracting? Like the spot? Is that possible? The extra spot that you had that you said was a little too bright? Hi, Jenna.
Good, how are you? Thank you. I can't really see you, but I can sense your positive aura.
It just comes right out.
Comes Right
Suck
on.
it up.
It's good, it makes it feel good. Thank you.
Say shalom Miruma. Booyah, say shalom Aleinu. Be'akol Yisrael. Be'imru, imru, amen. Yah say shalom. Yah say shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'achol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'achol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'achol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'achol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'achol Yisrael.
Hey, Avi, may I ask you to do me a favor? Could you go give this to Gemma? Because some of it, no one new has come in, but, since it hasn't been done, I mean, you can, oh, wait, didn't have back, just one second. This next one. Okay, tell her I texted her because thank you very much. Okay.
Oh, I think that looks good.
That's really lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's like soft, but makes it be there. Thank you so much, Erin.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Well,
Tell me where you want me to jump it.
I just skipped to Chef Leon.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Keep going
Come on, go. It's a good picture of music stand.
Right.
Because occasionally I need to, like, 'cause I've got this and this and
Yeah.
but it's nice to not have it.
I mean, it's up to you.
Okay.
It's time for.
What are we on?
Yeah. And I'm thinking we can.
Yes. So I'm gonna have the teams all come up over here.
We have kids.
We have candles, we have matches.
Okay.
I got it. Hallelujah.
Turn off Google's pinging alerts.
You turn off what?
The pinging alerts, like the, if you get a notification.
On your phone?
No, on this.
I can go to, go-
Talk me through it.
I mean, we're not gonna get it. I mean, I'm not.
You go on do not disturb.
You're not gonna get any notification.
Well, let me check. Freeze. Is my PC? Can I see it for a second?
Thanks.
Rachel, do you want this here?
For,
Just to. Oh, to slow somebody down?
yeah,
Dad, if you want, you can just put it on do
yeah,
not
maybe,
disturb.
yeah,
Or let's do that.
yeah. It's different on, because it's not a PC, it's a Chrome.
It's a PC. It is definitely.
I don't,
know.
my email isn't open. I mean, I don't know why my Slack is not open either.
Yeah, it's on for.
Okay.
So, thanks for that, Art.
Thank you, appreciate it.
The difference between a Chromebook and a PC is it runs on Chrome OS, this runs on Microsoft. It's on Windows.
Okay,
Chrome OS is much different. It's very much simpler. It's more, it doesn't run on a complicated system.
okay,
You can't install very many integrated applications and
Okay.
stuff like that. Yeah, so it's not a Chromebook.
it's not a
Chromebooks run on Chrome OS,
Oh.
and this is Windows.
Chrome. But it's a Google,
It's not, it's also on Microsoft.
it's a, okay.
This is the Surface,
It's
so it
the,
works
oh,
with
it's
that.
the Surface.
It functions as a tablet and a computer.
Hey, do you see how it's shaking? It's because we're bumping the table.
Yeah, I know.
Could you keep your arms off the table? Please?
Yeah, so don't touch the chair.
Yeah,
Perfect.
thanks. So I'm going to bring the tripod and Dad's gonna bring the tablet. Do you want Hobby to be?
It's up to him.
Yeah, okay, so I will carry this, if you would carry this. And I have to stay connected. And I'm going to. As a- She's explaining things so that we'll see coming out.
Okay. So it's you and I.
No, Javier.
Okay.
He knows.
And I was here for 2 hours just sitting here because I could not do anything else. I am very irritable and tired. It's really not helping that it's something that I really I'm not married. I'm just connected. I just do this for you guys. With you because I have don't pray. To be honest,
Tomorrow,
I'm at school. It's very so so just I'm a teenager. I feel like I shouldn't be trying to something that you guys were going to.
Well, good job, Chris. So good to see you. Oh, no, I'm digging it. Sure. That is simultaneously a mix of Rosh Hashanah, the celebratory, and the light purity, both. Right on.
Wow. And the Mexican way.
Right, and the Mexican, not to mention the Mexican wedding. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit. So I used to be the guy in charge of bachelor parties. So we'd always go out and get shirts. But the favorite thing, we found winners were the guy at Harris. Yontif.
It's my pleasure this evening to introduce to you the Urban Adventure Rabbi, Rabbi Jessica Lenza. Rabbi Jessica leads our branch in New York City, and she also teaches many of our online classes. And it's been absolutely a delight to have her with us for High Holy Days, leading us in our sacred prayers. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you always assume the one sitting next to you is the Messiah, waiting for a simple human kindness, and if the Messiah chooses not to be revealed in your time, it will not matter.
Just your voices.
We gather together as a community, brought to this time and place by different motivations. Some of us are here to pray to God, to repent for our sins against God, and to ask for forgiveness.
Others are here.
Some of us are here because last year's Kol Nidre service was filled with meaning.
Some of us are here to assuage our fear and heal our hurt.
Others of us are here to connect.
Some of us are here to repent for our sins, make teshuvah, and begin a new way of being.
Some of us came to reach out and connect with community.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome. Whatever your reason, you are welcome here in our congregation. Shalom Aleichem, Malatei HaSharis, Malatei Elyon. Imelech Malatei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Remember, spirituality is not something that happens to us.
Rather, it is something we create.
Someone else can kindle the fire, but only we can invite the warmth within.
Someone else can offer the teaching, but only your ears can receive them.
Oh, say shalom Birumah. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We pray for peace, peace in our world, peace in our hearts, peace in our actions, and peace in our minds. Oseh shalom Birumah. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru.
Amen.
We prepare to light the candles. We say, may this holy light illuminate our lives and enable our souls to soar. It's my honor to invite all teenagers to come on up and light our candles. We are so proud and appreciative of our teens, and so we would like to honor you by having you come light the candles. So all teenagers, come on up. We are so blessed to have so many teens in our congregation that really do, they carry the flame. You know, we light the flame and they become our bat mitzvah and they stay. And it's just such a blessing. So Sadie, if you would please light the candles. Then we'll all take the light and bring it into ourselves 3 times, just blessing ourselves with the holiness of this day.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'hadlik ner.
Yisrael Abutenu V'Imotenu, may the one who bless our ancestors bless these fine teenagers who have risen today for the honor of lighting the candles. May their year ahead be filled with satisfaction and health and fulfillment and joy and a lot of laughter. Let's say. Amen. Wait, sorry. Go. Sorry, I forgot. Shehecheyanu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'echiyanu v'kimanu v'yihiyanu l'zman hazeh.
Together, how grateful we are for life and sustenance. How grateful we are to have arrived at this exact moment. Tonight, we join our voices together in song to connect with each other and with our history. Tonight, we join our voices together in song to quiet our minds. Tonight, we join our voices together in song to nourish our souls. Whatever it is that is pulling you elsewhere, just let it go. Give yourself this gift of this very short amount of time to create an oasis and allow yourself to be fully present right here, right now, with us.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דיברה חיותי ימית מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחייכון בית ישראל, ברמה ובזמן קריב בימרו אמן. יהי שמך בגאולה, לעולם יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו, לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירה ימה בימרו אמן.
In a few moments, we will be reading Kol Nidre, arguably one of the most emotive of all Jewish prayers. There are many theories about the origins of Kol Nidre. One of them says that Kol Nidre was written by Jews in 7th century Spain who were forced to convert to Christianity to save their lives. This prayer released them from their vows to be Christians, thus enabling them to pray in their Jewish community. It is a prayer of people forced to say what they don't mean. When we recite this prayer, we identify with the agony of those who have had to say yes when they meant no. Just as the prayer enabled them to let go of vows to be Christians, today we release ourselves. We release ourselves from habits that no longer nourish. We release ourselves from anger that no longer serves. We release ourselves from those expectations that inhibit rather than motivate. We release ourselves from anger. Kol Nidre is also a prayer of confession and reconciliation. We are all transgressors. We are all exiled from our highest selves. We ask pardon for what we have done and for what we may yet do. Insincere trespasses and foolish promises, may we find forgiveness. Amarot shebein adam lemakom Yom Kippur v'chaper. Amarot shebein adam lechavero ein Yom Kippur v'chaper ad shiyatzeh et havero. For sins between a human being and God, Yom Kippur atones. For sins between one human being and another, Yom Kippur does not atone until the person has reconciled with the other person. So in a few moments, we will be reading Kol Nidre in English, and then we are going to go outside to chant Kol Nidre in Hebrew. Now, many of you grew up in congregations where for Kol Nidre, the greatest honor of the year was given to the big machers of the congregation. And they would come up and they would hold the Torahs while Kol Nidre was sung. And in our congregation, we do it a little differently. We want us all to be honored by holding the Torah. So we will be unscrolling the Torah and allowing everyone to hold the Torah while Rabbi Lenza stands in the middle and chants Kol Nidre. So I'd like to invite the students in any of our Bar or Bat Mitzvah or Bar or Bat Israel programs currently to come on up to the bima. And if you guys could just stand under the screen, making a line facing the congregation between the ark and me, come on up. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna remove the Torah from the ark. And these students are gonna very slowly pass the Torah from one to the other. And then on my cue, they will lead all of us outside the auditorium while we sing Avinu Malkeinu. And I'll invite you please to sing with us, or at least don't chit chat, because it does break the mood and it's just such a collective feeling when we're singing together. So those of you who wish to hold the unscrolled Torah, please make a tight shoulder-to-shoulder circle and hold the scroll on the top and the bottom like this. And those, oops, mine went off too. It's okay. That's not on anymore? Okay. Ryan, can we have mine back on? Or can we just have one on? Okay, that's okay. We're doing a switch because we're turning on this mic to go outside.
Hello, is that one on?
Yeah. All right, that's fine. Okay. Oh, there we go. Very good. So those who wish to hold the unscrolled Torah, please make a tight shoulder-to-shoulder circle and hold the scroll on the top and the bottom. And those who do not wish to hold the scroll, please stand behind the inner circle and you'll help block the wind and protect the scroll from tearing. So just to be very clear, everyone is invited to hold our Torah tonight. People of all genders and all religions, even if in a traditional synagogue, you would not be permitted. Tonight, you would honor us by holding our scroll with our community. Tonight, we will be honoring one of our older scrolls. It's one of our practice Torahs that we use to teach students to read. And if you are able to look at it, you might notice the vowels in it. Okay, would the congregation please rise? Together.
Of and all, who congregate on earth, and with permission of the omnipresent one, and with the consent of this assembly, we accept into our midst whoever seeks to pray. Whether righteous or unrighteous, all shall pray as one community. All solemn vows, all promises of abstinence and formulas, of prohibition and declarations of austerity, and oaths which bear a name of God and pledges to ourselves assumed on penalty. Whatever we might have sworn and then forgotten, whatever earnest, well-intentioned vows we might have taken up but not upheld, whatever punishment or harm we might unwittingly have caused down on ourselves. From the last day of atonement to this day of atonement, let their burden be dissolved and lifted off, and canceled and made null and void, bearing no force and no reality. These vows shall not be binding vows. Those prohibitions not be binding prohibitions. Those oaths shall not be binding oaths. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu v'Haneinu, Ki imanu ma'asi. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed ve'oshinei. Avinu
So I'd like you to really notice the moment that we're in right now. Notice your feet standing on the ground, grounding you to the earth, connecting you with the power of the planet. And feel your spirit lifting up through your body, straight up to heaven, where our ancestors thought God dwelled. And see this beautiful community that is surrounding you. Standing here, look at this community with whom you are standing, with whom you are sharing this moment. And now think of the Jews all over the world. Jews all over the world are singing these same words, Kol Nidre. And Jews have sung these same words since the 7th century. And so tonight, when we hold our Torah in our arms, we hear Jessica chant these words. I hope you will feel the power of your parents and your parents' parents and your parents' parents' parents infusing you with love and support. Now I'm going to unscroll the Torah. Oh, say shalom bimroma,
Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Rabbi Evan Yakar, one of the Adventure Rabbis, teaches that when we stand in a circle and we unscroll the Torah, that those of you that are holding the Torah represent the stories that have been passed down to us and the traditions that have been passed down to us. And those of you that are not holding the Torah represent how we animate Judaism with our lives. And without both parts, without that which is passed to us and that which we create, Judaism doesn't survive. So we need both sides of the circle for a vibrant Judaism. Kol Nidre.
Kol Nidre Vesarei Vecharamei Vekonamei Vechinuyei Vekinusei Ushevut Din Darna Udeishtebana Udeachareimna Bedi Asarna Nafshatana Miyom Kippurim Zeh Yom Kippurim Haba Letova Kulhon Icharat Naveon Kulhon Yehon Sharan Shevitin Beteilin Umvutalin La Sheririn Vela Kayamin Nidrana Nidre Ve'esarana La Esarei Shavuatana La Shavut.
And holding the holiness of that beautiful prayer, we will scroll the Torah back up. Sadie and Ori, would you like to each take a side of the Torah and scroll? We'll scroll the Torah back up, and then we will make our way back into the sanctuary. Please join Rabbi Lenza as we sing our way back in. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashari, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Please rise. We bring all the power and holiness of that beautiful commentary into the next phase of our service, which Lenza's been working.
When we were children, we thought of God as a father. When we were slaves, we thought of God as a master.
When we were subjects, we thought of God as a king.
I am not a slave, not a subject, not a child who longs for God as father or mother.
I might imagine God as a teacher or a friend, but those images, like king, master, father, or mother, are too small for me now. God is the strength of life on our planet.
When you're ready, please rise, but take your time. Elohim, Elohim, Elohim,
May our thoughts turn to all the places in the world and all the people in the world in need of our prayers for peace. We sing, O say shalom.
Oh, say shalom, Mirama. Uya, say shalom, Aleinu. Ve'al Israel. Be'imru, Ibru, Amen. Ya, say shalom. Ya, say shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al Yisrael.
Peace, peace, may it come speedily, may it come in our day, and we say,
Amen.
The city of Sura, just east of the Euphrates in modern-day Iraq, was home to one of the greatest rabbis who ever lived. He was so famous, in fact, that he just was known as Rav, which just means rabbi. That's like a real flex there. Rav was charismatic, beloved, wise. It only took a short time before the academy he established in Sura became the best, most sought after in the world, easily surpassing the yeshivot schools in the land of Israel, and even winning out over a nearby competitor in Judea. People traveled great distances just to hear Rav's lectures. And even though he lived at the beginning of the 3rd century, his teachings have been studied for generations, influencing Jewish practice all over the globe for almost 2 millennia. The Talmud tells us that one day, a plague afflicted the city of Sura. This terrifying pestilence tore through the town, descending on its citizens with no mercy. Young and old, rich and poor, no one was spared from this disease, except for the people living in Rav's neighborhood. Miraculously, this small section of town seemed immune from the plague. Word spread, and the people concluded, Rav is so great, so holy, that it is through his merit that his neighborhood was spared. The admiration and respect for Rav just grew. But the people were wrong. The Talmud tells us that it was revealed to them in a collective dream that Rav's neighborhood was spared not through Rav's merit, but because of someone else entirely. A man whose name is lost to the generations. And he didn't establish a great academy of Jewish learning, and he didn't become a revered leader in the Jewish community. He did something far less glamorous and maybe not even very noteworthy. This nameless person used to lend out his gardening tools to his neighbors so that burial plots could be properly prepared. The Talmud tells us that it is this small, anonymous act of kindness that seemed to radiate like a force field through the neighborhood that Rav just happened to live in. And that is what protected those inhabitants from the plague. The Talmud tells us another story. A generation later, Rav had passed on his leadership to the great Rav Huna, a rabbi who was almost as beloved as Rav. Rav Huna led the academy in Surah for 40 years. But it wasn't a plague that descended on the citizens of his town during Rav Huna's leadership. It was a great fire. This fire ripped through the town, destroying homes and businesses, crops and food stores. The smoke from this fire billowed black and ominous for days, obscuring the sky and belaboring every breath. The only area that was spared from this great calamity was, can you guess? Rav Huna's neighborhood. That's right. The people concluded again that Rav Huna's neighborhood was protected due to Rav Huna's merit as a great and holy person. But again, the people were wrong. The Talmud tells us that it was revealed to them in another collective dream that Rav Huna just happened to live in the same area as the real person who protected the neighborhood from the damages of the fire. You see, there was a certain woman whose name was never recorded, who performed a simple act of kindness. She used to heat her oven and allow her neighbors to use it. This is not earth-shattering stuff here, folks. She just let people use her oven every once in a while if they needed to. And yet, somehow, this small act of generosity generated an unforeseen and enormous impact. So what's really going on in these stories? Candidly, I'm a little skeptical that a supernatural force magically protected these neighborhoods from plagues and fires. I mean, look, we might be able to discern a practical reason that these small acts of kindness were able to have an impact. Perhaps the man who lent his gardening tools facilitated quick burials, which prevented the spread of the disease. Or perhaps the woman who lent her oven to her neighbors meant that there were fewer fires burning in that area, which prevented the spread of the Great Fire. To me, though, the historical accuracy or lack thereof is really immaterial. This is clearly the Talmud's attempt to credit simple human acts of kindness with having big positive impact. Unfortunately, we have been suffering through a plague ourselves and great fires. Well, a plague, fires, hurricanes, financial and political instability, the reemergence of the reign of the Taliban in Afghanistan, a growing sense of tribalism and partisanship, the rising temperatures of our ocean, a national reckoning in racial injustice, an alarming increase in anti-Semitism. I could go on, but I really don't want to. And I'm convinced that every single one of us could speak at length about how these disasters have derailed our lives, both personally and as a community. I'm utterly exhausted from it. The constant barrage of bad news, the panic, uncertainty, and lack of control, the seeming futility of my meager efforts to help repair this desperately broken world in the face of so many critical and urgent, looming catastrophes. I am honestly overwhelmed, and I don't think I'm alone. I know I'm not alone, because I think that combating that sense of hopelessness was exactly what the Talmud was trying to embolden us against. On Yom Kippur, Jewish communities read from the last book of the Torah, Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is Moses' final sermon to the Israelites. He's trying to teach them everything they will need to know to be successful as they prepare to finally enter the promised land. Because God told Moses that his days are numbered. Moses will not be crossing the Jordan River into the land of Israel. The people need to learn how to survive without Moses' leadership, on which they have become so dependent. Moses gathers the people from youngest to oldest, the wealthiest to the poorest. Every single individual stands before him as Moses reassures them. He says, "Surely this instruction, which I command you this day, is not too baffling for you, nor is it beyond your reach. It's not in the heavens that you should say, who among us can go up to the heavens and get it for us and impart it to us that we may observe it? Neither is it beyond the sea that you should say, who among us can cross to the other side of the sea to get it for us and impart it to us that we may observe it? No, the thing is close to you, in your mouth and in your heart, to observe it. Sometimes trying to be a good person, living our Jewish values, it can feel daunting. But this text reminds us that those tasks are embedded in our very nature. The first verse, which I initially read to you as, surely this instruction which I command you this day is not too baffling for you, translated more closely reads, for this mitzvah, this commandment to perform good deeds, which I obligate you in on this day, is not too wondrous for you. The word wondrous has the same root as the Hebrew word for miracle. We are being explicitly told that it is not our responsibility to perform miracles like Moses. It is our responsibility to perform ordinary good deeds, like the anonymous man and woman from our Talmud stories. These good deeds are not beyond our nature, but are the building blocks of our very being. We may have lost confidence in the competence of many of our national structures. We may be hard pressed to identify a leader who can miraculously swoop in and save us from the calamities we face, but our sacred texts reassure us that we don't have to depend on the superhero. We don't even have to hedge our bets on a hero of the non-super variety. All we need to survive is simple human kindness and consideration, a basic sense of social responsibility. In spite of the exhaustion and trepidation I feel, I'm hopeful. I have hope in the non-miracles, the small, ordinary, anonymous acts of kindness, the glimmers of basic humanity that we show one another readily and simply. If our salvation depended solely on the life of a great holy person that only shows up once every couple thousand years, I would be worried. But no, the Talmud and the Torah teach us that each one of us has the capacity to save each other. And that gives me hope. I don't pray for miracles. I pray that each one of us embraces our own individual power to share what we can, to help just enough to keep inching closer and closer towards a better world for us and for generations to come. Can you hear our song? May the sacred force that animates us all support our efforts. L'Shana Tova. So I want to share with you a song by Alana Arian, who's a fantastic Jewish musician. She was practicing a kindness meditation, and she felt like it was difficult for her. And she felt like it also echoed the feeling of the priestly blessing, this threefold blessing that comes from our Torah. That people have been blessing each other with those words for generations. And so she created this song based on those words, based on this idea of a kindness meditation. We're going to do it together. So it's the same words. The first verse is about sending kindness to yourself. The second verse is sending kindness to somebody else. And then the third verse is sending kindness to everybody in our community. So, as one of my rabbis, RuPaul says, I'll paraphrase here. If you can't be kind to yourself, how the heck can you be kind to others? May I be saved. May I be free. May I find space to just be. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May I we send kindness to ourselves, it's time to think about somebody else. If you want to go the easy route, think of somebody that it's easy to show kindness to. If you're looking for a challenge, think about that person, you know who I mean. That person who, whenever you think of them, it just, oh, they deserve kindness too. And you can reach down into the depths of your non-miraculous, non-heroic self and send out just some ordinary, simple kindness, even to this person. May you be safe. May you be free. May you find space to just you. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May you find your way back home. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May you find your way back home. And now we send out our kindness to everybody in our community, however you want to define her. May we be safe. May we be free. May we find space to just be. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May we find our way back home. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May we find our way back home.
Adventure Rabbi Lenza, thank you so much for blessing us with that beautiful teaching. The heart of a service in many ways is to be doing. Eloheinu, 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 Tavon lefanecha, tefilateinu, ve'atita lam, mitfinatenu, she'ein anachnu, ezefanim, u'she'orev, lama lefanecha. Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu tzadikim anachnu ve'lo chatanu aval anachnu together, our God, God of our mothers and fathers, grant that our prayers may reach you. Do not be deaf to our pleas, for we are not so arrogant and stiff-necked as to say before you, Lord our God and God of all ages, we are perfect and have not sinned. Rather, do we confess, we have gone astray, we have sinned, we have transgressed.
We all have committed offenses together. Together we confess these human sins. The sins of arrogance, bigotry, and cynicism, of deceit and egotism, flattery and greed, not being healthy, injustice and jealousy. Some of us have kept grudges, were lustful, malicious, and hurt. Others are obstinate or possessive, quarrelsome, rancorous, or selfish. We tarnish others' reputation. We use toward the weak. There was violence, weakness of will, xenophobia. We yield to temptation and show zeal for bad causes. For all these sins, forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement. I'd like to invite everyone to have a seat. And we're going to combine the two customs of doing Kaddish. So in the traditional congregation, only mourners rise. And that's so everyone can know who's in mourning, and they can come and say to you, who are you saying Kaddish for? Or I'm so sorry for your loss. But in the Reform movement, we added having everyone stand, so that no one felt they had to be alone, and in case people didn't know the prayer well, or in case they were embarrassed to stand up, and also to say Kaddish for everyone for whom there was no one to say Kaddish. So what we're going to do is, I'd like first to invite anyone who wants to say Kaddish for someone in particular. You're mourning your recent loss, you're observing the yard site of someone, or someone that died recently. So please rise, and I will point to you and say your loved one's name and their relationship to you. So if you would like to say Kaddish for someone in particular, please rise. Let's see. Behind you.
I would worship my father.
And behind you.
Nancy Fry.
Bruce Baum, my dad.
Did they miss anyone in the back? I can't quite see.
Crystal Dower, my father.
Did I miss anybody? And tomorrow in our closing stroll, we also have another chance to say Kaddish for anyone that's on your mind. So now the congregation, please rise. Still need your recording for my father, Robert Korngold. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are burdened be said. Amen. Good to see you. So I wish you a good Yom Tov on behalf of Rabbi Lenza and myself, and especially on behalf of our amazing board who does so much to support what we do. We always rotate new members in on January, so if you're interested in becoming involved in our board, we would be grateful to have you. And thank you to all our board members who are here. Perhaps you could just stand up so we can just acknowledge you, all our board members. Thank you so much for all your hard work. We had an incredible crew working together to make this day smoothly. We had our team up here that was working on Zoom so that all our friends could join us who couldn't make it here in person, and we're so grateful that you joined us and so grateful for your help. We have Annie, who is always here for our retreats, that was out front helping us. And Dave and Michelle, also frequent helpers on our retreats. And Jonathan Roca will be blowing shofar tomorrow, so we're grateful for his help. And my kids, Sadie and Ori, who are just amazing and wonderful and incredible and so helpful. And Jenna Lagomorcino, who organized our whole out front tape today and did all the background work for this event, along with Stacey Roosevelt. They're the new office crew, and they're just making this so much smoother and easier. And so I am so personally grateful for their help. It's really making a difference. Our next big event that's coming up is Passover in Moab. Passover moving forward is always going to be the weekend of Passover. So I really encourage you to come and join us. It's an incredible, incredible weekend adventure in a beautiful, beautiful location, and a real chance to connect with our community in a really deep and meaningful way. We would love to welcome you as members. We love everyone that comes to visit our congregation, but it is truly the members that sustain us in so many ways of affirmation as well as others. So we'd love to welcome you all. Our membership year runs from January to December. So please consider Members, we're doing an open house at my house, on District Coast. It's gonna be in my front yard. It's gonna be really lovely. I hope you will join us. There should be an e-bike going out in a couple of days. And on the same day, we have a teens program. For those of you that were in Moab, you met Beth. She did some of those extraordinary teen programs. She's running her teen program this year with mentoring by Rochelle, who's run it the last 2 years. And they're going to be doing a fun event down at outside the South Boulder Rec Center, just a chance to get to know Beth and each other and try to plan out the year. The team group does a fun activity every month. Some people say it's like being in the adventure class without any of the work. Our adventure class, sitting down here, so good to see you all. It's full for this year. That's our name is the class. It's already full and started for this year, but registration for next year is now open. So if you know a 6th grader that wants to be in our expedition-based bar mitzvah class, registration is now open. And our religious school for 1st to 6th graders is also totally full, but registration opens in May for the following year. And if you missed out on those, but you really want to get some Jewish education in this year, well, the amazing Rabbi Lenza is offering, she's teaching our online B'nai Mitzvah class and also bespoke education. And if you know anyone in New York that's looking for in-person classes, we're going to be running a adventure class in New York, where instead of climbing Deer Mountain, they're going to climb the Statue of Liberty. So please do help us spread the word. We're really, really excited, and you can see what a talented and amazing wise rabbi she is. Yom Kippur, for those of you that are joining us on the retreat tomorrow, we'll be at Camp Granite Lake. We'll be starting promptly at 10, so please plan to get there at 9:45. Hopefully you registered in time to get the email about what you need to bring and stuff. That we're looking forward to an amazing, amazing day. It's supposed to be 90 degrees up there, which is kind of crazy. So should kids fast? So this is a question I get asked every year. So you're not obligated to fast until you become bar mitzvah, but I would encourage you to give up something, and probably not broccoli and asparagus, but try to give up something. You know, like give up your cell phone, or eat. I mean, don't eat, but drink water. But do something so that the day feels different. I think, and that's my advice to everybody. I mean, some people can't fast for whatever, you know, you can't fast, it's not gonna happen for you. But do try to give up something that's meaningful to you so that your body and your soul knows it's a different day. Raise your hand if you were on the Elah hike where we saw, a lot of people were with us. So on our closing stroll, this is the bear we saw on there. So we close Yom Kippur with a hike at Chautauqua. We'll be meeting in front of the community house, and then we do, it's a stroll, it's not like a hardcore hike, but it is up a hill. Please arrive early because we're going to check people in because of COVID. It's really important. So if you arrive early so we can check you in. And then we're going to hike up and we're going to do a service on top of this beautiful rock. It'll be amazing. And then we'll hike back down and we'll do Havdalah. And usually everyone brings a little bit of a breakfast to share. It's not a meal. It's just like a little nosh. Okay. Well, it has indeed been an honor to observe this most holy night of the year with all of you. Thank you for helping us make this sacred space. We end as we began. The words are the same. Are you?
I just want to add another mention of gratitude, deep gratitude for Rabbi Jamie and everything that she does. I've been here visiting for almost 2 weeks, and it's so apparent to me what a fantastic community she has built, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this.
We wish you a meaningful fast and a good Yom Tov. Good night.